different parts of their business events journey. So some who are very new to business events, and then quite a few who are advanced in the business event space. So for those that are new, this session is being recorded. So if you only absorb 3 things today, you can go back to the recording. We'll shoot it around after the workshop. So feel free to go back and have a look at things you may have missed. For those that are quite advanced, and I know quite a few of you on the workshop today are heading to what we call the Olympics of trade shows in the business events world next week, AIM. For you guys, no doubt there'll be some things that you already know, but hopefully you'll have a few light bulb moments. So I'm just going to get the presentation up to share. All right. So I want to start by, let's just quickly get that working. So I want to start by acknowledging the land on which we meet today for the Larrakia people, and I pay my respects to those past, present, and emerging. For those that don't know me, my name is Gabrielle from Gift of the Gab Consulting. I work with Tourism Top End on 2 projects. So the Tourism Business Development Program, where we sit down and identify gaps and opportunities, and we do a tailored action plan with actionable items to help your business grow. I also run the Business Events Development Program. So this one is for a smaller group of operators. We've only got 4 spaces left. If you'd like to sit down and talk about a bit more of a tailored strategy for business events after the workshops, then please reach out. I will pass around my details. We've also got the lovely Nardine in the office here with us today. Nardine is going to monitor the chat function for us and let us know if there are any questions coming up. I do ask that you keep your cameras and your audio off until the end. And at the end of the session, we will have a bit of a Q&A session. But in the meantime, if you do have any questions, please shoot it through to Nardine and she'll let us know what pops up. We've also got the team from NT Business Events. So in the room, we've got Joanna off to the side. We've got BJ sitting next to me and Rosie here. And we've also got Russell from the Hilton Group who's come to join us in person. If you do ever want to come join us in person for future workshops, you're more than welcome to. So just going to go through the agenda really quickly. So today we're going to cover off what is business events. We're also going to have a look at the NTBE supplier page, and VJ is going to let us know a little bit more about some updates to the supply page that have pretty much happened today. So that's very exciting news. We'll also go through some creative tips. We'll do a bit of a qualifier as well, just to understand if business events is really the right avenue for you, and if it's not, how you can leverage off pre and post touring or extended touring. From there, we'll look at the next steps if you do get requested by the team for a proposal, and then we'll look at other ways that you can feature your business in front of decision makers with site inspections for meals and networking. So what is a business events? Don't worry, I am not going to read everything that is on the screen right now, but it's just really important to understand that a business event is the gathering for a vocational or a business purpose, such as conferences, seminars, even awards nights. Incentive groups are another big reason for events to travel. But it's just really to understand that things like weddings, celebrations, etc., don't fall under this business events category. It's pretty important to us to understand the why and the reason why all you guys are online today with us. Business events is a really great way of building revenue for a destination. It tends to attract high-yielding clients over a short period of time. And the team here at NT Business Events, or as Australians, we really like abbreviations, so you'll hear me call them NTBE quite a bit. The team at NTBE are tasked with a goal of hitting $68 million for the annual year of 2030. So the whole concept here is everybody wins when a business event comes to town. Hopefully you guys will be able to win by being a venue or a tour operator that hosts an event. If you find that you don't fall under that events category, then the pre and post touring might be where you fit in. And then even for things like our souvenir shops or our cafes, there's business all around from these business events that they should be leveraging off. So when we talk about the who in business events, it's definitely a lot larger than this, and that's a total another 45-minute session. But to break it down into 3 categories, we have what's called the industry suppliers. So that's everybody joining us today. We have what's called our decision makers. So decision makers fall under a few different categories. They could be, for example, a professional conference organizer, which is a company that's their bread and butter. All they do is organize events for various clients in various different destinations. You could have people who work internally for a company, especially any sales-based companies where they work on incentive programs and send the people that work for those organizations on events throughout, hopefully up to the Northern Territory, and all around the world. So there's various different types of decision makers. And then the last type in the group that makes up a business event is the government agencies. So for us, it is our lovely team from NT Business Events. And these guys really work hard to attract business events to coming to the destination. This could be in market representation at trade shows such as AIM that's going on next week, or it could be on a much larger scale, going overseas to places like America and attracting events to come to the destination, which last trip to America was really successful, bringing in an event for, I think it's in 2027? Yeah. Massive event for 2027. So they work tirelessly to bring these events to town. The way they do it is by putting forward the destination with 3 unique positions. The first being enriching Aboriginal culture. We also showcase iconic landscapes as well as nature-based experiences. Now, of course, there's so much more that these guys put forward to potential decision makers, but these are the 3 big categories that they can flesh out even more to explain ways to be tailored to that conference organizer to bring them here. And the biggest way that helps us remain competitive over other destinations is something called the bid fund. So the bid fund is for an event organizer who is sitting on the fence, or we might be in competition with another destination for that event to travel to. So let's say there's an event of 500 people and we're in competition with Adelaide. That event organizer might go to the team and say, hey, look, Adelaide's doing this, you guys are doing this. Then the team could put forward, say, as an example, $100 per delegate in order to win that event to come to the destination. So they'll take in a whole bunch of criteria and look at things in a different way. And they also do try and make sure they filter the events over seasonality. So sometimes they might put forward a little bit higher in that bidding to ensure that we can get those shoulder seasons or wet season events coming to town. So now you understand the purpose of business events in the Northern Territory. Let's have a look at ways that you can promote your product with the team at NTBE by being listed on their supplier page. So I've got a couple screenshots of what the old supplier page and everything used to look like, just because we've had, of course, the new changes today. So I will hand over to VJ in 2 seconds to go through what the new supplier page looks like. But essentially, this is a bit of an online shop front for decision makers to come to see what the destination can offer. It'll direct them to ways to learn more about the bid fund, but also it allows them to come through and find suppliers that work in the business events realm. So they could just search by name, they could search category, they could search region, they'll hit that search function, and ideally you'll be brought to, or the client will be brought to the landing page, which lists all the details about your product. So we've done so well with technical stuff already today, so let's give it another go. And we're just going to bounce out of the workshop presentation and onto what the latest supplier page looks like. So bear with me. Is that showing up correct, Nadine, on your screen?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay. So let's go new screen. Here we go. Perfect. Awesome. And I might hand over to VJ. Hopefully you guys will be able to see VJ to go through a little bit more about what's new.
Okay, so just a high-level summary of our new Find a Supplier page. So we've had this reworked and it is being done in phases. The first phase was bringing over the existing clients that we had, existing suppliers, in our system. And with the new refreshed look, the second phase obviously will be going out, reaching out to those that may be working with business events and don't have a supplier page, and finding out if they would like to be included in that. So a couple of changes. We still have the search for, and we have a region and category section. You can also move down here for the bigger tiles to have a look at the different categories that you can search on. At this stage, as an example, let's have a look. Click on meeting venues. And you'll see some of the changes in our new page. You get to choose the type of meeting venue. We have capacity filters. So if you're looking for if clients are looking for a bigger venue, they can move the filters to go to the larger size capacities. And then from there, they'll get to choose a venue at the bottom. If we're going to do a region, for example, of Darwin, it will filter all those facilities or venues that are appropriate for Darwin. So as you can see, we have elevated some of the offering for the images, and that's something that's been very important that we can show in this new format, is the key features of your venue. We have links to your social media platforms, links to your email, links directly to the website. And this is an opportunity to highlight anything that might be a key feature about your venue, or if it's an activity or a tour that we can highlight in this main body of content. Moving on from that, we just have a regional map which shows what region of the Northern Territory you operate in. And then we can have additional information. So this is something that we can work with. For this one, for example, it is accommodation. We can demonstrate how many rooms are at the hotel and what star rating it is. And if it is a meeting venue, then we can provide more information within here on capacities of the venue. So we have the opportunity to host beautiful images, and there's also the opportunity to host links to video via YouTube. Unfortunately, we can't host them directly on the site due to space, but if you have a YouTube video, we can also link this in and they can go directly to that YouTube video. Please have a look if you are already an existing supplier. Just jump on and have a look at your profile. If you have new images or video or new content, new services that you want to talk about, please let us know and we can update this. If you're not a supplier listed at all, then that process will go through Joanna, and we'll have an online form. It will be sent to you with some guidelines on how to complete that, and then that will come back to us for review before it's launched on the page. So exciting developments. It's making it a lot more user friendly. A lot of different categories there. For example, activities and touring. You can choose which category. Multiple, if you're hitting more than one, then you can choose more than one. And it's helping our clients narrow down what they want to see, or they'll leave it open and then they'll see all of the activities that are available. So yeah, please jump on and have a look. And let us know if you have any questions.
Amazing. I think the face looks really, really good, especially for those that have used the supplier page many times in the past. I'm sure you'll agree. The team's done a great job of, bringing it into the future and having the aesthetics looking the way and the functionality feeling the way it should. So while I'm flipping back, I'll just double check, Nadine, have we had any questions come through? No, all good. Okay, sweet. All right, bear with me as we flip over to the screen, back to the screen there. Share. Amazing. So if anybody does have any questions come through, by all means, feel free to pop it into the chat function. Alternatively, feel free to wait until the end of the session as well, and we'll have a chat then. So we've had a look at the supplier page. If you are ready and you want to be listed on the supply page, as mentioned, it does go through Joanna, and we will share her details after the workshop today. But before you do, it's probably good to make sure that you have your creative ready to go before working in this space. Or maybe if you are already working in this space, it's probably good just to have a refresher on things that you should do. So, and also this also counts if you're looking at creating a landing page on your own website. Some businesses are looking into writing a business events page and just having a click through into their own landing page so they can really tailor themselves for this market. So a few things to note with the pictures that are on the screen is that everybody looks happy. So these are really important when you're taking photos and really making sure you have photos ready for this market. So pictures of people of 3 or more, ideally facing the camera. If you are taking shots of tables, etc., that's definitely fine to have images without people in them, just to show what your venue, or even if you're a tour operator, as an example, and you've got a vehicle, take a photo of the vehicle so potential clients know what they're looking at. So once again, things to keep in mind is people being happy, so people smiling, groups of 3 or more. You want to put forward a variety of images. If you kind of do the same images and potentially even images of people in the same outfits over and over, doesn't really show you flexibility. So if you can, try and put forward that variety as much as possible. And yes, definitely put forward your setup images so they can see what your offerings can look like. So some things not suitable when you're looking to tailor to business events is don't put pictures up of families, children, teens or couples. Definitely sends mixed messages about being a company that tailors to business events. Steer clear if you can from casual clothing. So for example, once again, if you are a tour operator and you have a bus, if you're looking to put photos up for the business events market, probably not just your tourists on the bus. You'd want to tailor it in a way where people are wearing corporate outfits. Maybe if you get your friends together wearing a corporate outfit and name tags, that could work, or even print off some lanyards. Make sure you're setting up the scene so people know that you're well-versed in the business event space. It's pretty self-explanatory. Try not to get pictures of back of the heads, negative facial expressions. You always want to make it appear that people are happy. You know, what is it? Fake it till you make it. But most of the time we know everybody is very, very happy. And of course, it's making sure that, once again, you're really staying in the lane of business events and not promoting things like weddings or celebrations, because that's a very different market. Of course, on your own page, if you're looking to have just an events tab and you want to look to cater for that market, but when you're creating, say, a compendium or a brochure for the business events market, make sure it's really targeted for the business event space. A few other things just to keep in mind, making sure that you do have low and high res images, as much connection to country as possible. Beautiful scenic shots, I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. And when you do, if you ever do a staged photo session, it's making sure that people are really putting in some good expressions for the camera. So instead of just something like a simple smile, it might be a bit of a laugh. So just a bit more exaggerated for the camera. Now, it's also equally important to make sure that you get your content correct when you're writing up your bios and your pictures for business events. Ideally, everybody should know what a unique selling point is. This is essentially what you would put on your website about what your business offers. It would be really great if you are looking to expand in this space to write at least 3 unique selling points that are tailored just for business events. And I'll give you a hot tip in 2 seconds on how you can do that. When you're writing your content, it's really good to think about things like capacity, location. So for those who are wondering if they do qualify for business events, usually capacity is a big thing. Business events usually tailored for businesses that can hold 10 or more people. Now, the language around what we call the people attending these events is also really important. So instead of travelers, customers, things that we find we use a lot in the leisure market, we want to be using more formal language like delegates and attendees. So in any documentation that you're writing up, it should be these kind of words that you use. And of course, official destination names. So we're all pretty guilty of saying the NT or the territory. So it's spelling out the Northern Territory. It's just a level of professionalism that this market looks for. So my hot tip, work smarter, not harder. AI technology is incredible for those that have not got on board. If you do want to write a bio so you can be listed on the business events page, really simple. Jump into something like ChatGPT or whatever system you're using. Pop in something along the lines of help me write a 100-word bio for my business, XYZ, with a focus on attracting clients for business events. Please include capacity, XYZ, and my 3 unique selling points, and list those unique selling points. Hit enter, see what it comes up with, and you can manage that to a way that suits your personality even further. So as mentioned, if you are keen to get onto the supplier page, please reach out to Joanna. Once again, she will qualify you to make sure that you are the right business to be loaded on the supplier page. If you're keen to find out a little bit more about how you do qualify, or if you want to understand if you qualify for a business event, last year we ran a workshop, which I'll share the link to, called Product Development for Business Events. In this workshop, we put together a checklist for the various different types of tourism businesses, venues, tour operators, transfers, and other as a category. So we can share that around, and that way you can go through to figure out if you qualify a little bit more for this avenue. If you go through and you figure that, okay, maybe I don't fall into this category under business events, but you really want to work with the market, this is where the team at Tourism Top End really come in to support you with pre and post touring. So these are the guests that come up either ahead of an event or they stay on a little bit longer after the event to do some more leisure travel for themselves. And the team at NTB and the destination love pre and post touring. It means that the guests get to stay longer, spend more, and we have more regional dispersal. Also, for the decision makers looking for a destination to bring their delegates to, this also helps increase their attendee rates because it means their attendees get to explore a destination that maybe they've never been to before, or potentially they haven't seen everything they wanted to see and want to get out and see a little bit more. So those guys are attracted to doing the extended touring before and after an event, which brings up their attendance. So generally what happens is the team at NTB work tirelessly. They get those conversions on and we have the business events coming to town. Joanna will generally reach out to the team at Tourism Top End and do an introduction to the conference organisers. We will then work with them on a dedicated landing page just for their delegates so they can jump in and book that pre and post accommodation or tours, etc. We'll work with that decision maker to make sure their landing page is reflected in their brand. And we'll also work with them on potential activities that are listed as part of that landing page. So of course, as a membership, we remain as neutral as possible, but if that conference organizer, as an example, has a very corporate focus and they don't want family-based activities, then we won't list family-based activities on the website. But for the majority of it, we'll try and list as many activities as possible. So to ensure that you're part of this process and to ensure that your business receives visitation from pre and post touring, it's really important to make sure that your book easy is up to date. We will be sending around in March an expression of interest for those that want to put forward a deal or a value add that will only be listed on these landing pages. And this is designed to help your business attract more of those delegates attending to do your experience. I think even as consumers, we're all attracted by deals. So if you put yourself in that delegate's position, you'll understand that customer's point of view as to why they would come to you and book your experience. So keep an eye out for our newsletters and the EOI so you can put forward that deal or value add for pre and post touring. So we've gone through the supply page. So once you have yourself listed on the supply page, what can happen next is a decision maker will put forward a request of proposal. So generally the team at NTBE will receive a request coming through a form such as this, which is online. And then they will reach out to you to say that this request has come through. So you will receive a request form from NTBE with the request name and an ID. They'll also ask you for a due date for you to send back a summary of information for that decision maker that wants to come visit the venue. From here, you'll also have access to something called Simple View. So I'm going to hand the reins over to Joanna just to chat a little bit more about Simple View.
So Simple View is the CRM platform that we use. So if we have you on our database, we input the details and send you a request for a proposal or service request if you're not accommodation. And then from there, you just reply whether you can mark it as pursuing the opportunity or not. So you would go onto the left-hand side of the screen that you're seeing, click on opportunities and then submit your proposal, which will then reach us and which will then forward to the clients. At this stage, we're the screen that you're seeing at the moment is going through changes. So I'll talk about it later if you're interested in being listed with us. But it's just so that you know that whether you're listed on our website or not, it's still good to reach out to us so that we keep you in mind. And if there's a suitable request that comes through that we think that you might be a good match for, then we'll reach out to you and send you the request for proposal.
Awesome. It sounds like the team are doing so. Even with Simple View, there's changes coming through and there's updates and amendments. So just once again, it shows what these guys are doing to make sure that even the internal communications amongst the industry are getting better and better and better. And it is a bit of a sharing platform as well with the you can probably see down the bottom there where it says post board and partner bulletins, where there is a bit of information sharing there amongst those who are on Simple View. So stay tuned. There will be more updates at later workshops about how this is going to look. But for those that are new, it's good to understand that this platform also exists and that there is a database for those who aren't on the supply page to still be recognised by the business events team, and potentially you might be reached out to by the team for events that might align with your product a bit more. So once you've got everything on your online shop front up and ready, it's pretty important to figure out some of the in-person opportunities that are available to you. So sorry, I can see questions just come through. The questions come through?
Yep.
Yeah, what was the question?
Is the Simple View automatically a part of the business events website? How do we get onto it when it's ready?
So the supplier page used to be part of Simple View, and this is part of the new restructure. So that is now separate. So the supplier page is, you get an online form. So it's not connected to Simple View. Simple View is a separate, CRM and, service. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, so what happens, so with your system, if you were listed on our website, you obviously were in our CRM platform, Simple View. The way things are being structured at the moment, that will be totally separate. So you'll probably still be in our CRM. We do have a lot of contacts, so even if you're not listed, you might still be within our database. So we reach out to you, and most likely for your accommodation, we will probably reach out to you via Simple View, via the platform. If not, we usually tend not to go through Simple View. We'll keep your details on file, obviously, but we'll reach out to you by email. So not necessarily through Simple View, if that makes sense.
Yeah, awesome. Hopefully that's answered your question. And of course, we'll open up to Q&A if you do have, we'll open up to Q&A at the end as well. Yeah, we can see the question on your CRM. We'll circle back to that if that's okay, Deb, and we'll flesh that out a little bit more when we do some open up to video and audio. Awesome. So let's talk about these in-destination opportunities. So first and foremost, I think the saying "you only know what you know" is pretty important. These guys work with such a variety of businesses on a day-to-day basis that unless your business is put in front of them, they're not going out to search for businesses, essentially. So it's pretty integral that if you have a business that is ready for business events, majority of the time, you'll probably have connected with Joanna, which is the starting point in order to work on how you work with Simple View and the CRM and the supplier page. And then from there, the rest of the team will generally start to learn about your product. Other ways that you can get your product in front of the team, and once again, it will generally start with Joanna. If you're a venue and you've got changes made to your venue, please let the team know that they're welcome to come down to your venue. If you're an accommodation provider, etc., that you can host a site inspection. So you could do it independently with the team, or you can request that you be part of the next site inspection for a decision maker that comes to town. If you've got a new experience and you want to invite the team down as well to understand or see or just experience that the new product firsthand, then also reach out to the team, because there's nothing better than learning from that firsthand experience, which leads us into site inspection and familiars. So a site inspection in the business events world is for someone who's a little bit further on in the decision-making process for an event. So they could even be in the place of they've decided they want to come to Darwin, they just don't, and Darwin as an example, they could go to Katherine or Arnhem Land as well, but they might just want to check out a few more experiences to decide what their itinerary is going to look like. So generally the lead contact for site inspections is Joanna. They'll make a very tailored inspection for that decision maker that is coming to town. And usually they see a lot in a short period of time. So it's a really great way, once again, for your business to be put in front of a decision maker. Please always make sure you're putting your best foot forward when you meet that decision maker. Small things such as reading up about the company that is coming to visit, or potentially whatever the event is and the organisation that may be running that event, reading up or doing some research and understanding what the event is for will always help when meeting someone for a site inspection. Another way to showcase your product is with familiars or familiarization. We just call them familiars for short. So a familiar is really another great way to showcase your product. Generally, a FMIL will have anywhere from 5 to 30 delegates that are attending. The team at NTBE will put together, or potentially other partners and other stakeholders will put together FMILs. So generally the person who looks after FMILs in the Northern Territory at NTBE is Rosie. So a FMIL is a really great way for these delegates that are coming up who haven't necessarily decided on the destination, but it's a really great way for us to show what the destination has on offer. So I'll get Rosie just to chat a little bit about Darwin Showcase and what that looks like.
So Darwin Showcase, obviously it's an MTBE owned FMIL. So we usually host it in August, usually aligned around the Darwin Festival dates, but currently it's still TPC, it's still planning the program. Sorry, still in the very early stages of planning the program. Did you want me to talk about networking?
No, that's okay. We'll pop it in there. That's fine.
Okay. Normally who attends would be usually around 15 key decision makers and planners that are in the very early decision making phase. They might not be considering Darwin yet. So our aim is to showcase as much as Darwin as possible and the capacity for business events.
Amazing. Thank you. So it really is a great opportunity. Just to show what you can do. Now, we're also really fortunate. We've got Sandra from the Convention Centre online. And as a stakeholder, these guys also run a FMIL each year called Meet Darwin. Sandra, did you want to pop on and just let us know a little bit more about Meet Darwin? Hopefully you're there. Are you still there? Sorry, we'll see if we can get you on there, Sandra.
Oh, sorry. Am I
No,
here?
that's okay.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
No.
We can't, but we've got different functionality on our end.
Well, my video, I can't unblock it, but I guess you can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gabrielle, Tourism Top End, and NTBE for asking me to participate today. So yes, Meet Darwin is our Darwin Convention Center's annual FMIL program that we are always happy to excited to partner with our friends at NT Business Events. This year it is being run the 12th through the 15th, and we target 15 clients. And the target is our core corporate and mainly association clients. So we target clients that are usually about 400 delegates or above, up to 1,000 delegates. So that's kind of our core target. And their CEOs, secretariats, board of, director committee, they're the key decision makers for these organizations. We really work on Meet Darwin all year round. We have 2 researchers on our team, as well as 2 national business development executives that are constantly looking at the rotations of associations, who's those decision makers, and are always, looking at where they've been, reaching out via emails, as well as partnering again with NTBE on going to the annual trade shows. We do a sales mission each year. So we're constantly, this is again our core market for DCC, because when those 3 or 4 day conferences come in to Darwin, it's not just the convention center that benefits, it's again all of the partners in the community, it's the hotels, and it's all of the restaurants and everybody else. So those are the ones that we are, I like to call them the anchor events. So we're trying to fill our future calendar with those anchor events. So Meet Darwin has a really good return on investment. We find that when we bring the clients here, they are often like, oh, wow, we never knew that this was here, and wow. So we find that after they've been here, that we are able to really basically sign those hiring agreements. They go away and they're like, okay, let's lock it in. So generally we have, again, once we get them here, that's when we can sign those deals. So it's a really good program for us. I think you asked me to also say experiences DCC highlights, and you kind of touched on this already. The cultural programs, saltwater ceremonies, these are all kinds of points of differentiation that we find we have from different destinations. When clients come here, we're often again bidding from all the other states. So we like to highlight, you know, our beautiful landscapes and nature experiences. How can you be involved was one of the other areas I was asked to speak on. During Meet Darwin, we do have something called Meet the Market. So if you are interested, you're welcome to contact me or NT Business Events. This is an opportunity where different suppliers can be involved in the program, and it's an area for business event relevance, you know, products to be showcased. So whether it's conference bags or pre and post touring or hotels, all are welcome to be part of it. It's generally tabletop, kind of a one hour type, you know, where the clients, we have about 15 that come up to meet the suppliers and community. So those are all opportunities available. Once again, it's not always an immediate sell because these are clients that haven't picked the destination sometimes or are very close to it, but it is exposing your product to these future clients. It is a good opportunity to get the word out. So and help showcase Darwin. So anybody have any questions? I'll be available during the Q&A. I think I've covered it.
Yeah, amazing. Thanks, Sandra. And so good to hear. You're so right about how familials really do help with conversion. It's the main point of why we host the familials. And also, you raised a really good point as well. You know, a lot of the time in a leisure space, we just think it's tourism operators, etc. However, you know, your theming, your entertainment, your gift bags are such an integral part of the whole business event sphere. It's those little touches that really make an event so successful. And yeah, there's such a wonderful way for all of us to fit into this space together. And also the networking events that you touched on, and also you know, for all the familials that come to town, there's usually a networking event that happens. I know Rosie runs a networking event as well for Darwin Showcase. So if your product isn't featured as part of the familial for whatever reason, sometimes it's really tight time frames. These guys, you know, they don't really have a minute of rest in between familials, but usually there's a networking event that you can request to attend. So that way you can meet some of these decision makers as well and let them know a little bit more about your product. So beyond that, there's also organisations and catch-up groups such as the Australian Business Events Association. Sorry, ABIA is the abbreviation. So these guys meet up every couple of months. Members and non-members are often welcome to come to the catch-ups, but it's a really great way to network with those in the business event space as well, and meet with like-minded businesses. So if you are interested in taking part in the networking functions or to be part of site inspections or for meals, the team at NTB put together a prospectus every year of events that are happening around your destination. If you haven't received this already, we'll be passing it around in an email after the workshop today. If you're unsure about things, we'll also pass around contact details so you can find out a little bit more. But the prospectus really, once again, they only know what they know. So this lets them know who wants to be part of the mill site inspections, networking events, etc. Okay, so very much appreciated that you've all listened to the workshop today and hopefully taken a lot away. Do we have any questions from anyone? Deb, not sure if you wanted us to circle back to the simple view question, Please feel free now to use this as a Q&A. Feel free to put your video and audio on and ask away. We'll give you one more minute to see if there's any more questions coming through. Just while we're waiting, so after the workshop today, we will be sharing around some important email addresses. The link to the product development workshop will send through the prospectus. I'll also send through some links to the Tourism Business Development Program if you want to do that from a leisure perspective. Also, if you do want to take advantage of the one-on-one business events development strategies, there are only 4 spaces left. So please make sure you jump on and book that as soon as possible. But from the looks of it, from our chat function, looks like, yeah, sweet. Okay. Amazing. Oh, okay. Hold on. We've got how to best utilize meals. Can you please summarize? Okay. I think that came through. Was that, sorry, Daniel, just double checking the time frame that you asked us. Did we answer those questions for you throughout the meal pitch?
I think you just answered my question.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Sweet. Awesome. Amazing. Well, thank you again, everybody, for joining us today. We do run these workshop series to help you diversify your market reach and to look at new markets to get into. Business events is definitely one of the fastest growing from the Northern Territory. So if you do have any questions, please reach out. But thank you to Sandra for joining us online and for the team from NTV for joining us in the room today. And you guys are all awesome. Please keep up the good work and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.